Hey, are you interested in learning? Check out our videos. Want more knowledge content? Make sure you've subscribed to our channel.
Before Linux, it was all Windows all the time. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when installing an operating system meant burning a CD and rebooting your computer. Ah, good times. And back then, there was only one real choice if you were running anything serious on your machine. And by serious, I mean anything other than Solitaire or Minesweeper. Back then, Windows was synonymous with computing. If you wanted to use the command line, you used a clunky emulation layer on top of Windows called Minix. If you wanted to set up a web server, IIS was your only option. If you wanted to use Microsoft SQL Server, well, guess what? You could only use Microsoft SQL Server. There was no such thing as open source databases back then. If you wanted to do version control, you used Visual Source Safe, which was about as pleasant as using Microsoft Word for version control. And that's pretty much the story of how Windows used to be. Everything was locked down. Everything was proprietary. You couldn't replace or substitute anything because Microsoft owned everything you needed to run on their platform. But things have changed. After Linux, we can now install a whole suite of tools on our machines without having to pay licensing fees, negotiate with vendors, or lock ourselves into a proprietary ecosystem. It's a developer's dream. It's also the foundation of cloud computing. In fact, some of the most popular Linux distributions are also among the most popular operating systems in general. Ubuntu ranks 5th overall. Debian ranks 8th. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is number 10. And of course, the king of them all, CentOS, which comes in at number 4. And who's number 1? Who sits atop the throne of the most popular operating systems? Windows, of course. Because even though Linux has made incredible inroads in the server space, Windows still dominates the desktop. And who can blame them? It's a great product, especially for consumers. But for developers, the game has changed. I can install Elasticsearch and Kibana and the whole stack in under an hour. And not just Elasticsearch, any number of search engines. I can install Redis or Cassandra or MongoDB or SQL Server. Heck, I can even install Windows Server and Active Directory and all the tools I need to manage it on a Linux box. The same goes for programming languages. Want to write code in Python? Easy. C#? Sure. Java? No problem. Go, Rust, Ruby, PHP, you name it, you can run it on Linux. You might be wondering why I'm preaching the gospel of Linux here on a Windows-based channel. Well, the answer is simple. As a solutions architect, I help customers solve problems using the tools that are best suited for the job. And most of the time, those tools happen to be based on Linux. That's where the industry is going, and that's where the industry is headed. So it makes sense to learn the skills that will help you land the kind of job you want. In fact, over 90% of the Fortune 500 uses Linux in some form or another. They use it to run their websites, their apps, their databases, even their desktops. And it's easy to see why. Linux gives enterprises the freedom to choose the tools they want to use without having to worry about vendor lock-in. It also gives them the flexibility to move their applications anywhere they want, whether that's on-premise or in the cloud. And with the rise of containers, that process has become even easier. In the end, it doesn't really matter what you use as long as you can deliver the results your customers want. And if you're not delivering results, chances are you're part of the problem, not the solution. So if you want to be a solutions architect, it doesn't matter what you use. What matters is that you understand the tools available to you, and that you know how to use them effectively. In the case of Linux, understanding the fundamentals is key. And luckily for you, you don't have to figure it all out on your own. You can learn from others who have gone before you. Now, you're probably not going to get a job because you know how to install Elasticsearch. I already said that, didn't I? But knowing how to install Elasticsearch is a lot easier than trying to master an entire operating system from scratch. So go ahead, learn Linux, learn the tools, become the expert your customers need you to be. And in the meantime, subscribe to the channel so we can help you on your journey.
How did you feel? Is it helpful? Appreciate our efforts in the comment section below. Hit like button, share with your friends about us, subscribe our channel to get further updates. Stay connected with us on social networking sites. For more free tutorials, visit our website www.learneticguide.net.